full moon event for March 2023. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello. And we have a special guest this time, Roxy. This is your first full moon call with us. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Excellent. All right. So, Darcy, you have unearthed the statistics of said full moon for tonight, have you?
I like that you use the word unearthed, considering it is the worm moon.
Oh, see,
Oh.
look at that. Great segue. I didn't even plan it. I mean, yes, I did.
Nice. Yeah, okay, yeah. Side note, worm moon is like the most awkward two words to be joined together, like maybe in the history of words. So worm moon. It's really hard to say. Worm moon.
So two, let's break this down a little bit. So two 4-letter words, one ends with an M. Oh, that was even weird to say. And then one starts with an M. Worm moon.
Worm moon.
Yeah.
It's awkward. I'm not a big fan, but that's okay. We'll just breeze past that one. That's fine.
Yeah.
So obviously worm moon, it is not a super moon and it is not a micro moon. So Matt, you have nothing to say here. You're good.
Right in the middle. It's like
right in the middle. It's just a normal moon. It's
Yes.
just your average regular moon this time.
Average regular worm moon.
Anyway. So it's named such because it's about the time of year when bugs and worms and all that kind of stuff start coming from the ground. All the larvae start hatching from the trees, all that kind of thing. So it's the sign of spring. Spring is on its way. It's not here in Edmonton, I know that, but it is in other parts of the world where we're not. So
yes.
So all of that part aside, it's not a super moon, it's not a micro moon. It is the beginning of spring. We do have our daylight savings happening here soon, so it's signifying all the good parts of spring where everything's new and exciting. So that's good. However, it is a little bit of a turbulent moon this time around as far as the spiritual part of it goes. So it's a kind of a checkpoint for your healthy habits. So we're getting into spring, so we're going to like kind of check in with ourselves and make sure that we're on track with everything that we have been setting intentions for the last little bit. This is your checkpoint for healthy habits, sustainable routines, and your relationship with your work life. So making sure that you're in balance with they said work life, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it's pertaining to all the relationships in your life, making sure that you have a good balance with everything, good synergy with everything in your life. So it also said that this full moon has a work hard, play hard kind of vibe. So we're getting stuff done. We're getting energized for spring. We're getting ready to kick ass and start doing stuff. But it's also possible for the lack of emotional stability. So with ups comes downs, right? There's the manic, there's the depressive, there's the yin and yang, and however you want to swing it for yourself. So you might be super, super productive, but you also might have that emotional instability on the counter side of it as well. So something to watch out for.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well done. Yeah, there's a lot on there for sure. And Caitlin, or did anybody else, did you end up reading anything about said worm moon?
I mean that covers most of what I haven't like intentionally read anything, but that covers a lot of what I've seen, and definitely, as I think every moon has on these calls, fits life very, very well. I'm definitely in like an implementation stage of a lot of things that I've been working on. So like it is very much like finding that balance, finding that synergy between all of them. So it's very interesting how the moons have very much correlated.
Yeah,
isn't it? Quite some time now. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like so Darcy and I were just talking about we started doing these full moon calls, like recording them and putting them out in such as content last February. So this is like our 13th edition. Or maybe there's 12th. I think there was one that we missed. Either way, we've been doing it for a year, and it definitely tracks as far as, it reflects, what's going on in life in general, our lives and all that. So, which is one of the fun parts about talking about this. So Yeah, cool. I like the spring, the theme of spring, like, starting over, checkpoint. That word's really stuck out, which totally makes sense, right? You're coming out of January, February. It's like, okay, you've had all these like intentions. It's time to check. Okay, am I actually implementing this, or are we, are going to pivot off of this? Is this something I really do want to do? So I'm definitely getting that. The balance with work resonates with me specifically. I know that you'd mentioned there's the possibility to take it out of the realm of work, but just because I've been so obsessive with my current season of work, if you will. Yeah, that one really resonated with me for sure. So and then the duality theme, which is fairly reoccurring, which is totally makes sense with moons, right? With the full moons. I do like that. It seems the first thing that comes to my mind is the amount of like trips. So there's like this obsessive working that I'm doing, and then it's like counterbalanced by like say for example the trip to Sedona, and then come back, and then I know myself well enough that I'm gonna like try and compensate for being gone for 5 or 6 days, be obsessive for another few, and then there's like the Tony Robbins weekend, and then there's like and then, which isn't a trip, but I mean it's a pausing from everything else, and then the Banff at the end of the month. So there's like these pockets of yin and yang, if you will. So that definitely resonates with me as well. Cool. Yeah. How's it showing up for you, Darcy?
Yeah, I like the idea, like you said, of the checkpoints for just healthy habits and routines and stuff like that, just making sure that the last few intentions that we've put out, that you're kind of if you need to reevaluate them or whatever. So I'll definitely be doing some reflecting on that over the next couple days. And yeah, it's always good to get the heads up on a possible emotional instability or lack of emotional stability, because as it's well documented, I'm struggling a little bit in that department every now and then. So just to kind of have a heads up that, hey, this might be happening. So just kind of keep an eye on check yourself before you wreck yourself type deal. So yeah, it's always nice to get that kind of heads up for that. So
very cool. Awesome. Roxy, what's like resonating with you about what we've talked about thus far?
I think the checkpoint aspect and the balance of work with life aspect hit home for me. I'm, as you know, just currently in the middle of a 2-week vacation, and that was kind of what I timed it. We had a few big files going on at work that I just finished before my vacation, and then kind of timed the time away so that I can have a good break. And then when I get back to it, hopefully refreshed and renewed, which I think will be the case. So yeah, I think that just the timing of that coincides nicely for me.
Very nice. Question for you. Are you one to get, when you're ramping up out of a holiday, is there some degree of like reservation or anxiety? Like, do you start doing some future tripping as far as like, oh, this is going to be waiting for me when I get back? Oh, do you start getting a bit of a panicky type, mindset, or just showing up in your body?
No, maybe in past jobs, but in this new job, that's not the case.
Beautiful.
It's a small team, but a solid team. I know that stuff is handled even though I'm not there. So yeah.
Yeah, makes a huge
that's
difference.
a good feeling.
No kidding.
Yeah, very good feeling.
Yeah. Game changer. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Roxy. All right, Caitlin. Yeah, how are these themes showing up for you?
Yeah. Balance between work is a big one for me, just because I have a few things up in the air with writing a book and coaching and my full-time job, and that's stepping away from that. I have 2 trips in the next month, so it does give me, I'm gonna leave my computer at home for both of them, and I told them that, and I still feel like, so this is future tripping right now, real time, that my phone is gonna light up a few times on both trips. So yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. It's good to know that is something to pay attention to. So excited to have that right now, being brought up. And then, yeah, I mean, emotional stability, again, I'm gonna echo Darcy here in saying that that is a thing for me a lot of the times. And I know we've talked about, you know, the high highs and the low lows and riding the waves and all that kind of stuff. So I'll definitely keep that in mind as well this month, and allow myself that grace when I am feeling those emotions.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. I like it. All the shares, and everybody's got their, we gave Roxy a makeshift mason jar for now. Obviously she wasn't able to travel with hers, but we've got our moon water. So anybody that's listening to this one, I'd like to, just in case somebody doesn't quite know what we're talking about, I always like to, you know, give the ability to catch up with what we're doing here with the moon water. So yeah, Darcy, do you mind given the what for and what have you with this moon water that we're doing?
The what for and what have you? Absolutely. So basically what we're doing is we all have our special containers. I know Caitlin and Matt and myself all have crystals in our containers to help get a little bit more of the spiritual part of the moon. So basically we are just putting a clear vessel filled with water out to the full moon, and setting our intentions out to the full moon, with hopes, or not hopes, with the intent of having the moon bless our water. I tend to drink mine in slow sips throughout the month to kind of get a little boost of whatever my intention was throughout the month. Caitlin, I know that you've had really good success with using it to water your plants and everything, because it does have some spiritual energy behind the water, and it's done very well for some of your plants. And yeah, it's basically just intention setting and putting it out to the universe, and just believing in yourself and hoping that all is going to be well.
Beautiful. And I'd like to wrap it up with, if we're all comfortable saying even just one word. And I mean, there can be a few different reasons. We don't necessarily have to give context for it. I love having just one anchor word for as far as an intention for this next month. And this one's come up fairly often, but I definitely I'm feeling it this time. So I'm going to use the word allow for my intention and anchor word for this month. Yeah. Darcy, do you have one, or put you on the spot?
I'm gonna go ahead and say checkpoint. I just want to, just refer back and just see if I'm on the track that I set out at the beginning of the year. So checkpoint is mine.
Checkpoint. Cool. Thank you. Roxy, do you have one that comes up for you?
Yeah, I think for me it'll be balance.
Ooh, very
Nice.
Balance.
Good one.
Thank you. And Caitlin?
Mine this month is going to be self-trust.
Beautiful. Awesome. Love it. Well,
Yep.
Happy Moonwater night, everybody. Happy full moon.
Happy worm moon.
Happy full moon.
Happy worm
Worm
moon.
moon.
Worm moon.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
Bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Bye.